Hello everyone, my name is Aditya Tiwari and I am Senior Backend Engineer with Composition Analysis team. In this video, I am going to show you a code walkthrough to generate vulnerability reports from SBOM files. So currently we have two flows to generate vulnerability reports depending on the parsers. Number one is we parse SBOM file and generate vulnerability report out of it. The flow two is we parse the custom security reports generated by the security analyzers, and we parse those reports to generate vulnerability report. In this video, I'm going to talk about method 1 because we are trying to move away from custom security reports and we want to adopt SBOM reports for all the parsers. So this is how it starts. Once the pipeline is created, we have an after transaction called IngestReportWorker. Once these conditions are satisfied, we call IngestReportWorker. In this IngestReportWorker, there is a background job. So here in IngestReportWorker, we call IngestReportsService with the pipeline. In IngestReportService, we basically perform this operation called ingest reports. Here if you see, we fetch something called SBOM reports. This is a call to pipeline.sbom reports. This is where the magic happens. Here in this line, basically we will convert a JSON blob passed from the SBOM file into PORO Ruby objects. So let's dive deep into the implementation of SBOM reports method. So I'll go to the pipeline and this is where the method is defined. Here if you see, first we create a reports object, mind the plural here. We create a PORO reports object. I want to see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. This is nothing but a collection of multiple report objects, singular report object. So this is going to give us a collection of report. So here we are going to create just an empty report object, and this is how the report object looks like. Report object is nothing but again JSON representation or representation of different components present in the SBOM JSON file. So in pipeline, we create first reports object. We pass that report object to collect SBOM reports method. So here if you see, we are fetching job artifact of report type SBOM. This will give us the exact file, SBOM file, that is created during the execution of the pipeline, and we pass it to the latest report builds method, and we call it on the latest build with this particular report. So let's jump into collect SBOM reports method. So here what we do, basically we fetch the blob, JSON blob, we pass a file type to it, and then we create an empty report SBOM report object, and we select a parser. After selecting the parser, we parse that report, and this gives us a report object with all the desired values and from this particular blob. Then that particular report we push to the collection of reports object, and this is where we do it. So let's jump into this method. This is really interesting. So if you jump into the fabricate method, here we select the parser, the correct parser for that particular file type. So if I have to jump into this parsers method, you'll see we have a lot of parsers, and based on our file type, we are going to select cyclone-dx parser. So cyclone-dx parser is responsible for converting the JSON blob into PORO Ruby object, or PORO or Ruby object. So let's see how this cyclone-dx looks like. This is nothing. You again pass a blob, you pass a SBOM report object to it, and then it basically pass different metadata, components, dependencies out of the blob and create a report for you. And this parse method returns a report object with the filled up value. So we pass an empty object to it, and it gives you a filled up value, and then we push that report into the reports object. So once we have that, let's go back to the ingestion service. So here once we have all that SBOM reports collected, we basically call IngestReportService. So here again, see the singular here. So here it's report service, while here it's report service. So now we are going to ingest that particular report object into the database in IngestReportService. So if you go to the IngestReportService, okay, before that actually we pass pipeline to it, we pass SBOM report to it with all the filled up values. We also pass vulnerability infos to it. This is again an empty object with a pipeline, and if you jump into IngestReportService, you will find we basically first create an occurrence map. Now I want to talk about what is this occurrence map. So in SBOM report we have a lot of components, so I'll show you how this looks like. So this is a component section of the SBOM report, and there are a lot of components, and we use these components to find the vulnerabilities. So components can be duplicated across different reports, and we don't want to create duplicate objects. That's why we create occurrences of it. Occurrences are the occurrence of a component in that particular project. So we create occurrence map from that particular report. You can jump into the occurrence map collection method and see how we do it, but in the end it will give you again PORO occurrences object. So once we have that occurrence, we called IngestReportSlice, and we pass pipeline and slice to it. Slice is nothing but a collection of different occurrences, so we don't want to pass single occurrence to it, so we create a slice of it. So once we call IngestReportSlice service, this is where we perform different tasks. These tasks are responsible for creating database objects, like creating component object, creating component version object, source object, occurrences object, or vulnerabilities for the occurrences object. If you want to jump into how it works, or if you want to look how it works, you can go to this base.rb class. This is SBOM ingestion task base file or class where we create all those objects. So once this is executed, we have all the database objects required to create the vulnerability report. Now we have GraphQL endpoints and API endpoints that we can use to fetch the vulnerability report for a particular pipeline, and that's how it works. Thank you.